The cloudy and wet weather continues today over the far northern parts of South Africa, where we're expecting a weak tropical low-pressure system to pass just to the north of our borders, and this system is going to bring a chance of heavy rainfall to parts of Limpopo. Over the central and western interior, on the other hand, it's going to be partly cloudy with isolated thunder showers later on. We could even see a few thunder showers into the Western Cape, where a particularly hot day is forecast. Along the east coast, fairly cloudy once again, with a bit of light rain in places. 4 watches have been issued for today by the South African Weather Service. The first is for the likelihood of heavy rainfall over northern Limpopo. The second watch is for extremely hot conditions on the opposite side of the country, affecting parts of the Western and Northern Cape. The third watch is also associated with very high temperatures, extremely uncomfortable conditions forecast for the West Coast, Winelands and Eden districts of the Western Cape this afternoon. And the fourth and final watch is for the likelihood of gale force southeasterly winds between Cape Point and Cape Agulhas, moderating later on today. Rainfall probabilities, where there's widespread showers and thunder showers in the forecast for Limpopo as well as Eastern and Mpumalanga. Adjacent to this, scattered showers extend all the way down to the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal. A bit of light rain in places along that east coast as well as the adjacent interior, while the rest of South Africa is seeing just an isolated chance for thunder showers. Up to a 40% chance extends into Springbok, Sutherland as well as Uppington, and all the way down into the far northern interior of the Western Cape. No rainfall expected along the south coast of the country. Maximum temperatures now, where we see extremely high maximums over the western parts of South Africa. 44 degrees for Vredendal near the western coastline, 35 for De Aard as well as Sutherland, 34 degrees for Bloemfontein, and far more normal looking temperatures near the eastern parts of the country, upper 20s for most places, and even cooler under the cloudy and wet weather. Light winds are expected along the west coast of the country at 20 kilometers per hour for Lambert's Bay and Langebaan. Swell heights will average at 2.5 meters across this area. Further south, we'll see relatively rough seas at first at about 3.5 meters, but those swells drop down to about 3 meters later on, and we're expecting light winds around the Cape Peninsula, 20 kilometers per hour into Table Bay. Along the south coast of the country, easterly winds dominate across this area. Fresh winds once again for Jeffreys Bay as well as Port Elizabeth. Swells are expected to reach a height of about 2.5 meters as well. And finally, along the east coast of South Africa, where we're expecting southeasterly winds for Durban and Richards Bay to be light, moderate to fresh winds for the Wild Coast as well as East London, and light swells expected at 1.5 meters.